Little Big Planet, our most amazing childhood ever known to man, the staple of our creativity and imagination. What's up everyone, it's me, Chichon here today. Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be doing something really fun today. So if you're wondering as to why I'm talking about LBP, well, I got some news for you. So because today we are actually going to be doing something a little bit different today. Now, if you already know, of course everyone knows about Little Big Planet. It's one of our best known childhoods ever known to man. Unfortunately, this year hasn't really been too kind for us, and yes, I'm pretty sure you already know this, but yeah, it's not the brightest year to be exact for the game here. But we don't really have to think about the downfalls. Let's think of the good times for this one here, because I got some special news for you, all of you LBP fans out there. We're gonna be doing a little redesign of characters. Not just any characters, you might ask. No. We'll be doing unused characters. Basically, characters that didn't make it into the LBP franchise, and I am going to be redesigning each of them. Now, I thought of this idea for quite some time now, ever since I wanted to try and do more Little Planet content in this channel, since it's been a while since I even done that. Now, I've looked through a lot, and I mean a lot of content surrounding LBP. There wasn't much, but I occasionally find some really nicely done arts and some really cool concept arts of the game. Man, when you look at all these arts, you can definitely tell that there is a lot of love and care on each of them. Like, see all the content that's surrounding LBP, and all these beautiful freaking artwork of all these unused stuff that we could have, but we still know that it existed. And heck, even someone literally made a character that's literally like the collector's daughter, which is, I never even seen this before, but it looks super cool. Like, why didn't they do that one? And also a lot of weird stuff too, especially with this one. Like, what is this? So yeah, there is a lot of history going around in the game, and it really is fascinating once you get to see it once or twice, a few times occasionally. So enough of that, let us get it on right to the video. So the rules are basically, I'm going to be redesigning each of the existing unused characters and characters that didn't make it into the games, and I'm going to be using my own imagination as to what would happen if they were in the games, and even give them a little bit of a background, make up a story or whatnot here, because I tried looking up and see if there's like any backgrounds I should know about, but so far it's nothing really much, but it's fun to do anyway, because this is just a video of just redesigning and whatnot here. I'm just making this up for fun. So yeah, without further ado, let us get on with the first one right here. So the first concept I did are these two characters right here. Now, if you have no idea where they came from, if you remember the early version of LBP3's channel, you could definitely spot them in two of these scenes right there. Now, there's no origin story as to who these characters are and what characters they could be. My assumption would probably be that they were supposed to take place with Newtonpud and Nanopud, since the two of them look almost similar to each other, but they're incredibly different. I don't know, that's what I thought in my opinion, really. So, in this scenario, I decided to actually make them into grandma and granddaughter, since they too look similar to each other. So, the girl on the right, I decided to name her Sunny Gardenwood. She's basically this gardener who lives in a very peaceful, nature-like world where everything is all about trees, flowers, and a lot of obscurity. Basically, the world building is based on the early versions of LBP3, basically with the same exact world buildings and everything else here. She's this kind, bubbly girl who just loves flowers and just loves to help out her grandmother. But in this scenario, her grandmother, Granny Wither, is very sick. Basically, she's like this gloomy, creepy old lady that basically is the only one who's full of darkness and decaying, since basically, well, she's the only one who is lacking of color. And I basically based on this idea of like having Sunny to be this bright and joyful side of the forest life, and Granny Wither, that's what I called the old lady, would be the side effects of, well, decaying and withering tree scenario with the forest. So it would be kind of like a climate change, forest nature change scenario with the two of them right there, having them be total plural opposites, but they still are related. Anyway, so Sapboy has to help Sunny take care of her grandmother, just to find what type of cure they can help with her grandmother before she wreaks havoc of the forest itself. So basically, I actually got the idea from the trailer again itself right there. Now, we do see these two scenes right there, which actually looks pretty something else. I think to myself that maybe this could probably be the plot point where the grandmother over here is just, well, she has like the powers of making everything all distorted, surreal, or perhaps grotesque, basically showing the ugly side of her own powers, and you have to stop it and whatnot here. Now, I do believe that would be a pretty interesting concept, not gonna lie, with these two just having, they're not entirely having a strained relationship, no. Sunny really loved her grandmother. She just hates the fact that her abilities of the whole world that they live in is totally wrong, but she can't really help herself. Her love for her grandmother is very strong. She's just disgusted over the fact that she has the abilities to almost kill plants and make everything change and surreal, and everything about her is just full of darkness and gloom. So I gave the two the best of my own abilities as to what they could look like in the final game. Still keeping them the same abilities and whatnot here, and I gotta say, their designs are very unique. I didn't even think this is really LBP. Like, they look like they're entirely in different games or whatnot here, but I didn't really understand as to why they kinda didn't really keep them in the final game. I do think that exploring with different unique designs would actually give the game series a little bit more depth and a little bit more creativity, really, since hints, and I quote, the name being that. So I basically did the best I can here, and it actually was a lot of fun doing these two right here. And I do think that I did a pretty good job of capturing them in their original designs, and yeah. This early trailer of LBP was just surprising. Like, I didn't even think it was all too real. Like, I can't even believe that LBP was going to have a significant design from the early version than what we had in the final game. But, oh well, that's what we do all the time here, but we can always make up imaginations in our head. And here they are. Meet Sunny Gardenwood and Granny Wither. Definitely a very good representation of these two right here, and I really enjoyed drawing them, and I hope you liked my version of them. Also, why does Miss Wither look like that old lady from freaking Spirited Away? Next on our list, we have here, believe it or not, he actually has a name. He's named Sir Pavlova, aka the alpha version of Tuggle.
I said silence! Oh, you are silent. That's wonderful, darling. It's so much better than that awful Newton, with his blather and his bluster and his creativity defied. How can an artiste work in such an environment? Silence is my canvas on which I paint my sonic picture. Allow me to demonstrate.
Yeah, believe me or not if I say this, but all the three heroes in LBP 3 were supposed to have personalities. For example, Tuggle here was supposed to be this flamboyant, feminine, theater boy, fashionist designer man. Like, goodness me, I did not even expect that when I first saw this. Now, for his design-wise, it is absolutely chef's kiss. Like, oh my god, the amount of pink that this dude has is just everything. I love how detailed and how sparkly it looks, even, of course, with the color of pink hues everywhere as, like, the main source of his color is just something that I really adore so much. His personality is super fun. I love how he's just all about confidence and maintaining his own perfectionism, and he's just everything. He's just an icon for like 30 seconds in the footage that you just saw earlier. Like, I just love him to pieces. I don't know why they didn't even give the main 3 heroes their own personalities. It could have been a much working system to have like all the 3 characters that you play as have different personalities into them. But of course, in the final product, they have to make all of them like Sackboy, but with all shapes and sizes. Anyway, so for Pavlova, if he was a main character, he would definitely be the same. He will be this fashionable, flamboyant, feminine theater boy who's just all about professionalism and all about the confidence that he has gained and showing off his greatness and his sparkly soul to show for the world. It's definitely a really fun concept. I mean, I don't think I have anything to change about him, but if he were a creator-curator, he'll be all about like that. He'll be just throwing out a bunch of amazing theater parties and just everything. It's just so fun. Like, oh my god. And here he is, all pink, all sparkly, and ready for the show. Oh my goodness, I love how this turned out. This has to be my favorite design so far in the video. So yes, I hope you like my version of Sir Pavlova. Okay, the third one on our list here, we have here one of the most bizarre, but one of the most unique designs I think I just see today. This one that we have here is this chess piece character, along with the other designs that I swear, the designs on all of these unused characters are just so spectacular. I mean, this chess piece right there, I thought this was actually fake, but it turns out that this was actually the alpha character that never made it into the game. Like, out of all the characters that I have seen in this game series, this one, like, I'm just surprised. Like, this is a literal chess piece in a wagon-like body and has a chess piece of a horse on it, so and that's just really something I didn't really expect. It's like this whole freaking Sackboy Big Adventure with this character right here. Now, again, like the first one, there isn't any descriptions as to where this character even came from or who she is, but I think that this might be the alpha version, maybe the old version of what maybe Pinky Buffoon looks like before the final product. I don't know, I'm guessing here. Because the reason why I know it is because the color schemes looks identical with the Bumcum Lagoon vibes, I can definitely tell. And yeah, I knew exactly what I need to do, so I need to like try to see exactly as to what I can come up with my little head of mine. So I basically tried to give her the best design as possible, even though I really had a hard time with this design because it looked so freaking difficult to actually maintain it. But at the end, I think I got it. Like, the only problem here is that I have to blend in, making all the knit-like fabrics, mixing in with the colors, and capturing in the originality of the design here. And yeah, I think it looks really neat right there. So while doing this, I basically came up with one small little story here. It's not really groundbreaking or anything, but my thought here is that maybe this girl could be like, maybe if she is, instead of like Pinky vibes with her just being ignorant, spoiled, snobby, or, you know, overpowering queen vibes, maybe she's actually more the opposite. Like, say she's actually more whimsical, kind, and most of the time clumsy, because you could definitely tell by her face that she's very cautious about this whole situation. Anxious even. She's just trying to be careful in everywhere we go, since she's a bloody chess piece and she doesn't really want to get in the way of any trouble here. So for her name, it was actually hard to actually know exactly as to what I could name her, so I simply just named her the Chess Piece Queen. Maybe, I think, yeah, that's what I went for this matter. A little bit generic, but, you know, the names were pretty hard than I expected anyway. Anyway, so the Chess Piece Queen here lives in a very royal place here, a lovely fortress, and she lives with all jewelry, all about beauty, and of course, she has like 2 axolotl-like sock, dog things. I'm not sure what they are called, but they're also the alpha versions of Otsock, but I decided to make them into her pets, and I named them Pearl and Jewel, naming after her favorite things ever that she lays her eyes on. Basically capturing in the crab from Sackboy Big Adventure, and yeah, I think, again, I didn't really have a lot to say about her, but I really did enjoy as to how she turned out, and I hope you all liked it too. Alright, it is time for the final choice of this video. Last place we go to here is these 2 right there. And of course, they are also named as well, Jacob and Rusk. Now, Jacob here is supposed to be a Marlon Random character placement, because the world that he is in is supposed to be Manglewood, but it was soon scrapped in development, so basically Jacob went to waste at this rate right here, and Rusk here is definitely an Oddtalk placement right there, and another personality character that we couldn't have right there. So this one is definitely a lot simpler than I thought, but it was still pretty difficult to actually capture in the designs, really. Now, this one already has a full-on story, so I'm not really going to get in depth with it, but let's just say that Sapboy rescued Rusk from a hungry pack of wolves, and they have to go back to the place that Rusk was in and defeat the Wolf King himself in order to get to the tree. There's something about the white stone that they got, and if they place it inside of the tree, it can lead Sackboy into different worlds, I'm assuming. Yeah, so that's basically the plot right there. I know that I'm not really good at explaining it, but that's what I capture in. I didn't really change a lot from that plot point, but yeah, that's really what I'm saying here. So, but I did actually add in a few more details that I would give if these 2 were ever in the final product. So, Jacob here, I'm assuming, I don't really know much about him besides his summer outfit that was also unused. I'm assuming that he's probably the gatekeeper of the tree and probably the butler lookalike guy. I'm assuming that's what I can gather up by his design-wise. So it would be pretty interesting to note for the fact that Rusk, the wolf character, would definitely be the princess, the rightful princess of the wolves. But basically the king overthrew her and replaced her instead. And he's the one who's guarding everything. So that would probably be like a revenge story of Rusk trying to get back to her throne and become queen again, and Jacob helps Sackboy and Rusk along the way. So that's basically what I can gather up here. And again, I didn't really change up a lot in this plot, but I did add up a few things to make the plot a little bit more interesting. So yeah, here they are. The final product we have here. Yep, they definitely look great, and they are ready to serve while running with the wolves. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My take on these unused LBP characters. I had a lot of fun doing this video, and I had a lot of fun doing all of these characters. It's an honor. As an LBP fan myself, I do definitely enjoy doing all these designs and showcasing my perspective for all of you. And yeah, this was definitely a lot of fun, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. So that's definitely going to have to be it for today's video. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to go subscribe to my channel, give me a like, subscribe, or anything, or shout out to me. And hopefully you're looking forward for new videos in the future. So, where we going now, and bye guys! Yeah, we.